Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Randomizer fan of all ages, sorry for the delay, but we are live with another race in Week 6 between Asazas and Aestolia. We find ourselves immediately taking off, grabbing the red bottle of goo out of Link's house, and off we go for a very abbreviated introduction, but here we are on our sequence. My name is Crozone80, I'm here with Algernon. How are you doing tonight? Are you as hyped for as I am for this race?
Yes, I am very much hyped as Aestolia and asazas both at 3 and 2. They need a win. Whoever does get that will be staying alive for the next week as they get ready for week 7. And we have the Cana Berna here at the start. Whoever is unfortunately on the bad end of this match will be seeing a much different tune. Another one bites the dust as they will be out of the tournament in all likelihood.
Yeah, well, it is possibilities that some 4 and 3 runners will make it through. It is a very, very slim margin, so neither runner is going to be wanting to be put into that position. This is a high-stakes matchup as a result, and we're going to see a map check here. I saw that the desert was the red pendant, and I believe we had 2 other crystals.
Yes, I believe it was 4 and 7 at Eastern and Tower of Hera. Meanwhile, we have the Cana Berna here to start, as Aestolia gets an 8 bomb drop. That's really good for her.
Yeah, it really is going to make things a lot simpler, especially when you're in the Cana Berna start, because you have to really control your mana usage, and so as a result of finding that early on, means that she can just power through the beginning of this race.
Yes, it's going to give her a lot more ability to not necessarily need to use that magic when she otherwise might not want to, as asazas does pick up the map in the first chest. Meanwhile, Aestolia getting a perfect double bomb. She'd been practicing that in pregame, and with that 8-pack of bombs, very good execution. That just goes to show what practice will get for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So chat's asking, looks like we've got runners wearing the regular Link sprite, and we also have Aestolia playing as Navi, everyone's lovable fairy.
Yep, so I imagine we'll be stopping and listening to that for a while. asazas finds a bomb upgrade in the boomerang chest.
Another good double bomb setup here by Aestolia. Excellent work.
Yeah, very well done.
There. Very interesting that she's choosing to use the bombs there when she has Cana Berna. But it actually might be a little bit faster, and saving that magic for a later point in the early game might be what
being able to save it for sewer rats, perhaps. I mean, look how little magic asazas has left.
Yeah, and as well, still needing a bomb upgrade there. That's going to be quite impactful in the later point of the escape sequence.
Yeah, she's going to use a tiny bit, and that's just good time save, not needing to get the second pot.
Yeah, now what this does, because of this, the choice to use the bombs there, you can see the difference in time that creeps up, just waiting for bombs to blow up. So while Aestolia has a lot more magic power and still 4 bombs, that's what makes up the time difference between where our runners are placed at this point.
Yeah, of course, any time gained or lost during the Practice Princess saving mission, not probably going to be that critical in the end, but who knows? We've had races decided by far less than this.
So with a Cana Berna start, typically you're going to see times of around 6 to 6.5 minutes. One of the, it's not necessarily one of the fastest starts, just because you have to be very conservative of your magic usage.
Yeah,
but
the bomb starts are a little bit faster because you do have a lot more ability to just blow and go, although Aestolia definitely took a bit longer in her sequence, but you don't have necessarily as much to worry about because 15 bombs is plenty to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are some magic power, like, so if you're concerned about the magic situation, there are some pots that Asa is going to be able to pick up in order to replenish the magic power in order to complete this escape sequence.
Only a couple, though. And also, we found the map, so this is going to be 3 items in the sewer chest that Asazas, barring a lucky drop, is not going to be able to get to.
So there's one of the magic refills.
Meanwhile, Aestolia burning through the Caverna that way. Zazas has just enough to get the key, but I don't think he's going to be able to use that to kill any of the enemies. And looks like he's not even going to try.
Yeah, it's going to just have to motor past all of these rats and bats and hope that there wasn't anything of incredible importance there in the backseat of escape. We will find out in just a few moments if that's the case.
Probably the most crippling thing to find on Aestolia's side would be to find the power glove, because that would be the way you would normally get back in, unless you go through the entire Hyrule Castle sequence again. And it looked like just a big 20 in Sanctuary chest, judging by Asasa's screen. Let's see what we have here.
Yeah, so an arrow capacity upgrade, 20 more rupees, and the fighter shield is nothing that Asazas is going to be concerned with missing out on. Might end up coming back to check at a later moment just in case when they're on a hunt for a specific item, but not the worst possible set of items.
Also, not the worst possible. 20 rupees from the tree pole. That's going to give Asazas an early 100 that he would need for the bottle vendor.
Yeah, and we're going to get a quick look here at the lumberjack hut. It was a big 20.
Yep, that's not going to be required.
Yep, so just one less chance for this being an AGA 1 required seed, but still potential is for that to happen. We'll see if Aestolia also makes the check into lumberjack house.
I mean, there's really very little reason not to, unless you feel that you're behind and, oh, that's an item. We have blue mail here in the Lost Woods, so that's definitely going to be useful for our runners. But it's going to be interesting. Aestolia's already blue. What color is she going to turn with the blue mail?
Well, I guess we'll find out in a few moments, I guess.
We will. Also, Aestolia might not even need to buy bombs. She's got 3, which is going to get her, I believe, all of Kakariko taken care of, and to have enough for the bottle vendor.
Yeah, and so the major time difference between our 2 runners at this point, as Chad is asking, is simply the fact that Aestolia picked up an 8 bomb pack early on and chose to use bomb strats instead of the Caverna strats, just to save up on some magic power, and that has just shown you how much of a delay that can cause in your startup. But as well,
Asas finding the mirror in the tavern. It looked like he was checking that way, hoping to get a lucky bomb drop, but he's certainly not going to say no to that.
Yeah, and Sick Kid is going to trade that red goo bottle. A look at that
for just a bomb upgrade. That's not what he wanted to see. So Zasas is going to have to buy bombs just to clear out the rest of this early part of Kakariko and the associated areas. And apparently, blue mail turns a blue fairy yellow. Don't ask me how that works.
So we'll take a look here in the Cuckoo Hut. Finding 50 more rupees. So
okay,
replenish that.
Yeah, that replenishes the 50 he had to spend, so that's good. But Aestolia will be able to go straight to Blind's hut and not have to worry about any of that time loss. And 100 rupees will get you just a nickel from the bottle vendor. Someone's been taking lessons from the master con man, King Zora.
So not finding anything really of great value here in bottom of Blind's hut. Asazas is going to show us what's in the well first, except for bombos here on Aestolia's side.
Bombos could be required, and power gloves are definitely going to be required. Asazas finds that in the well.
Yeah, and this is not a very high item density start to the seed. Our runners give each other a high five as they run past one another in order to check the area that the previous one just completed. And you got to think that both runners are kind of hoping to find another weapon. The bow, of course, is nice, but it is really just like they want a melee weapon relatively early on, and they don't have one yet.
Yes, well, Asazas has to be happy that he found that mirror. That was the item that he really wanted to see early. Aestolia, let me double check, but both of them are hoping not to find a shovel anywhere quick. Oh, Aestolia said she wanted to find an early bow, so good on her.
Yeah, now that does open up the potential to complete Eastern Palace early on, as long as you're willing to make your way through some dark rooms. Runners at this point in this tournament probably are very comfortable with most, if not all, of the dark rooms that might be necessary.
Especially the ones in Eastern. Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. There's also Mini Moldorm Cave and Sahasrahla Cave that could have the lamp, as well as the 2 items in the dam.
Yeah, and I think at this point we're going to just see some standard clearing of the southern shore of Lake Hylia.
And Aestolia is going to pick up her mirror here in the tavern, since chat was wondering where it was. There you go.
Now, one of the features of finding the mirror early is we can just mirror skip some of these blocks.
Yep, the leading blocks is just a really great general thing to know. It's going to save so much time in so many places that you wouldn't really think of otherwise. Just move while a block is pushing, hit the mirror button, and poof, block's gone. Just don't do it in a dungeon.
Wow, and look at that. Boots, soggy shoes to say the least, but there they are under the water of the dam, so that's going to mean that we can go fast for the rest of the seed.
Yes, this seed is definitely going to be a speeding up, as Asazas is making his way to a Mini Moldorm Cave. Only 10 arrows, but only 4 Mini Moldorms shouldn't have too much trouble.
Yeah, and you can see here, if you just go from the bottom of the screen, it's a lot easier to shoot. Whoa, that Mini Moldorm decided to make...
Yeah, that last one is not playing nice, but Asazas does take care of it. Aestolia going to get her boots, and we have a fighter sword and the Titan's mitts.
So we are
here in Mini Moldorm Cave and the flute.
So we are 2/3 of the way to Dark World access. We just need a Moon Pearl now in order to be able to freely move about.
Mini Moldorm, the true hype cave.
Yeah, you know, I'm finding more and more that seems to be the case. That and Paradox Cave have been providing a lot of progression-related items in the last few seeds that I've been commentating.
So it looks like, Zaza is going to check King's Tomb, and he can route that in with Back of Escape. So that's good on him to be able to check this.
Wow,
Cave of Samaria! Oh my goodness!
All of the, many of the troll items showing up early in this particular seed, so that's fantastic. We're just hoping now for the Ice Rod Fire Rod.
Something else. You talked about how they need the Moon Pearl to, in order to get a Dark World access. There's a place they can go with, and don't need there's a place they can go in the Dark World. A bunny run the checkerboard cave is in Logic.
Oh wow, and there's the hammer.
The hammer in the Bonk Rocks. Oh my goodness.
Early boots getting us 2 items out of both Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb.
Hey, it's critical, and it's going to be really interesting to see when Aestolia decides to make those checks, because those are not places you expect to have all this early. But Zasas is going to activate his flute, as everyone please rise for the Swag Duck Anthem.
And Aestolia is going to go all the way over to Ice Rod Cave. So that's going to be another check that we didn't yet see on Azaz's side. So,
I mean, I can't say as I blame him. This is a spot that's really out of the way, unless you have the flute to just flute your way over to the Ice Rod. You see, he's going to flute to 8, and he's going to make that check now. So that's perfectly fine routing on his part. Then he can decide whether or not he wants to do Zora, or if he wants to fake flipper up to Zora, or if he wants to check some other stuff. He can't get to the items in the waterfall cave because it doesn't have Moon Pearl, but he does have the ability to get Hobo, and if he finds enough money, Zora's item.
So now it looks like Aestolia is aware that, hey, I've got the Power Glove, I'm going to go, and the Titan's Myth, so I'm going to go get King's Tomb taken care of. Going to find all of these items now, because I'm assuming that she will also check Bonk Rocks afterwards, get both Kane and the hammer. Meanwhile, Azazas is going to head up to the dark part of the old man's cave.
Heading up Death Mountain, deciding sequence. We don't need no stinking sequence. So let's see if this pays off for him. And Aestolia, I assume, is going straight to Bonk Rocks from here. I mean, it's going to be very interesting. He'll be able to get into Tower of Hera with this, because he's got the mirror.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just do the vanilla bunny run.
A lot of open areas for our runners to head to. In fact, it could even go, it has the hammer, so it could go up the east side of Death Mountain and then hammer back across as well.
Yeah, oh, right. I didn't even think about backdooring from the top end. That's clutch.
So we see another bottle of red goo up on top of Spectacle Rock. I'm sure that Azazas is going to take that. And look at that Master Sword hiding under Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, that is very clutch. Meanwhile, Aestolia is going to activate her flute. Let's see where she decides to go from here.
So this seed has gone into a completely highly open world situation for our runners. They can go to pretty much anywhere in the light world at this point.
Yeah, Asazas is going to do this bunny run. The only sequence breaking he ended up doing was getting the old man with because the flute brings all of this into logic. But Aestolia, with the sword, is going to have a much easier time of getting the old man, especially because she's getting it from the backside, which is a shorter walk. We have the map here in the first chest, so we may have to take a look into the basement.
Yeah, we'll find out shortly if we get a big key here, so up the tower we'll continue.
Alright. So much for that.
Well, there's still the chance that there might be an item located in the basement.
Oh, absolutely. There's still the key and the compass to be found.
Of course, they'll hope that that's not the case, because they don't have a fire source at this point.
You're right. That's one of those things you take for granted until you realize that you don't have it. And Aestolia sees that, hey, that sword is kind of useful, and there's some big bucks for Asazas. Gonna try setting up this bomb jump.
And there's the second item here, so...
Yep. So, the basement will not have anything, I believe. I think it's Moldorm has to have the key, and the basement has to be the compass.
Yeah. Or the key could be locked in the basement as well, so...
I'm not... that key... Oh, wait, that's the only small key in the entire dungeon, isn't it? Okay, yes, yeah. If that's the case, then yes, it could be. Either way, no basement. Asazas having a little bit of trouble with Mordorn, but takes him down. And there is the small key, in case there was any concern. Aestolia is probably going to be making this same bunny run. It's going to be interesting to see what the fairy's bunny sprite is.
What else is possible here that you don't often get to see is our runners are going to actually be able to do the Super Bunny Cave as a Super Bunny.
Did you see Aestolia's bunny sprite is an A button? That's cute.
That is
She's
actually
going
pretty
to
funny.
pick up that second red potion, and she'll head to Tower Hera, while Azasa's getting deadlock trolled.
Yeah, but you know what?
but
Can
does
easily change their path to this spiral cave in order to make their way down the mountain and then just come back up.
yeah. It's not an A button; it's the C up button from the N64 pad.
So here at the bottom of Spiral Cave, we get another piece of heart, and Azasis is probably going to either it could make two choices here. Could actually set up for the mirror into the Dark World and do Super Bunny Cave, and then go into Paradox. But looks like we're just going to go straight to Paradox Cave.
Yeah, Paradox Cave, 7 items, some really good density here. You might look at potentially doing Super Bunny Cave if this is a dud, but as you said, Paradox Cave has a history of paying off quite early and quite often. So let's see if it does it today.
Well, there's the Moon Pearl, so
there's the Moon
no Super
Pearl.
Bunny for us. I always get sad when it's a chance to happen and then doesn't.
So Zasa's going to clean out these last 5 items here, and probably, if it were me, go straight to Dark Death Mountain with that Moon Pearl.
Yeah, and hope, like, the best thing for him to find at this point would be Hookshot, just to be able to complete Hookshot Cave as well.
Yeah. Aestolia gets a much-needed heart. She was down to 1.
Also going to have the opportunity here to see what is Turtle Rock. When Azazas gets to the top here, it's going to be able to go through that portal just to look at what the Turtle Rock item is, or medallion is.
That's actually a really interesting play. It's one of those things you don't expect to see 23 minutes in, but yeah, Azazas is going to tell us what we need for Turtle Rock. I believe with the hammer, Spike Cave is also available.
And Quake is the required medallion, but we're going to see here that Turtle Rock is actually a pendant along with Swamp Palace, which is the green pendant. 5-6 crystals are in Skull Woods and in Palace of Darkness.
As Aestolia takes down Trolldorm, she gets her small key, and she also has her first crystal.
Now, Zaza skips the first chest there in Hookshot Cave. You can get it with bonks. But perhaps hoping to find Hookshot here in the Super Bunny Cave first, just in case.
Instead, finds $20 and another heart container. So Aestolia also going to be doing Paradox Cave and Spiral Cave in all likelihood. She'll probably make the same similar move. Zasa's was going to check Super Bunny and then go into Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, there's always the chance that you get your Hookshot there. Oh, that's going to make bonking very difficult.
Yeah, you kind of need to bonk off of that skull. So he's probably just going to reload it.
Yep. Oof, and now that jelly is just deciding to be in an obnoxious spot.
And that's what the jelly gets for being that obnoxious. And there's Quake.
Wow. Now here's the real question. Oh, a hover attempt is being made. And almost
he
the
was so
sequence breaks.
close.
That
Wow.
was very close. I think you got to do it again.
That's impressive.
If you can hover Hookshot Cave, that would be potentially an amazing sequence break here on Azaza's side. Gets the first one.
Oh my goodness. And he can bonk back.
Yeah, there's a lot of bonks you can make here to recover.
And the
Gets
flippers!
the flippers! Now,
oh my goodness.
setting up for hover number 2.
Up for the last one, yeah. Ooh, just missed it, but that might he's gonna keep going. Aestolia's got her Moon Pearl.
So a sequence break for the flippers, I don't know. I mean, it gives them access to, at this point, Nothing amazing. Swamp Palace being a pendant dungeon isn't that great. It will mean that Waterfall of Wishing is available, but they have the
Waterfall of
access.
Wishing, Zora Ledge, and I believe they've got Bombos, that opens up Ice Palace for Asasas. He sequence breaks into Ice Palace with that.
Yeah, but you can
And
fake flipper your way.
He gets the last one. Oh my goodness.
You could have fake flippered your way to all of those as well, so it's not a huge sequence break. The only thing that this adds for Asazas would be the ledge at Zora.
Yeah, Zora Ledge and you're right.
And
Zora
the ability
Ledge
to
and
do Swamp Palace, but
yeah,
that's probably a low priority.
But yeah, Asasas, holy crap. And he's still got a red potion to do Spike Cave. I believe this is oh no, he's got Keen and Burnham. This is perfectly in logic.
Yep.
Right, I forgot that they kind of got the invincibility item, like right at the start. Just a big 20, but definitely plenty that he's picked up here. So let's see what he decides to do with all this. Probably looks like he's checking Hype Cave first. He's gonna take this portal and he's gonna Hype Cave. He might look into potentially doing Swamp Palace.
Yeah, what this does tell us, of course, is that Swamp Palace, Ice Palace, and Ice Palace don't have the hook shot. Neither will the Zora Ledge or the Waterfall of Wishing.
And chat pointing out that Asasas, with the way everything's set out, he's just technically a fire rod away from go mode.
Yes, but also unfortunately out of bombs, so he's gonna have to leave Hype Cave and go.
He's gonna just buy some more. So Aestolia making she's making the play. Master Sword Quake. She's gonna dip. She's going to dip super early in Dependent Turtle Rock.
You know, sometimes the seed just kind of hints heavily that that's what you want to do. We'll see if it pays off. It's a really bold move here. We could easily just end up with nothing from the first chest.
We have powder, 10 arrows, 1 arrow, and $50 from Hype Cave, so that's not super big. Yeah, I think there's only 3 chests she can check in here. She
has to get a key here.
Or
that's not gonna help.
Not the key she wanted.
So, nowhere else to check. I'm not sure if she's unsure that that's the case.
Well, she'll find out quickly enough, unless...
Go up here and see what this is.
Yeah, she'll see that... Oh, wait, that is a key. Never mind.
So, Silver Arrow's on Stumpy there on Asas's side. He's also going to check down a K45.
He's doing the what you would normally do as the Froggy World Tour, kind of backwards, sans Froggy. Just a big 20 there. Aestolia might be about to do Spike Cave as well.
Yep. Not going to really provide anything.
Ooh, interesting. Oh, she just going to take this mirror portal? Okay. Yep. She's just going to take the other Dark World portal.
Just to avoid the damage there from the Lionels.
Yeah, mirroring to avoid a Lionel beam to the face. That's relevant.
Lots of magic here in Dig Game.
Digging up a ton of magic. Goodness.
But let's find out. It's been quite a few digs.
Yeah, over 20. He's got to find something eventually, you'd think.
And Fire Rod!
And that Fire Rod, technically he needs the lamp for logic, but Asazas is in go mode in under 30 minutes.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, technically he needs the fire rod for Misery Mire, but no, he can complete every single dungeon that's a crystal.
So a sub 30-minute go mode. I guess we could technically call it a go mode without the lantern. Logically, it does require the lantern.
Yeah, logically it requires the lamp, but I'm sure asazas is more than capable of pulling it off.
Yeah, this is as jetty a seed as one could ask for.
Yeah, and chat pointing out that technically you need hookshot, but the only thing he would need hookshot for is to get across the Moldorm 2 gap, and asazas can kind of hover.
And so there's also the potential for ether at Misery Mire, but...
Yeah. And
not
with the powder, he can also check a Mad Batter.
Yeah, and not only can he hover pretty well, like making his way through Hookshot Cave with hovers. No small feat.
No, not at all. Asazas, however, did not decide to check the Mad Batter. I'm pretty sure he got powder and hype. Yeah, it's in his inventory right there. Yeah, he could have checked the Mad Batter there and just for whatever reason didn't. Meanwhile, Aestolia is in Thieves Town, and it looks like Asazas may have well, he's gonna flute somewhere else.
Yeah, now I wonder if Asazas even realizes that he's in this type of go mode situation. You know, you don't expect it early on.
Yeah, he's going to Mire, so he can check the medallion. Check to see if he needs ether.
Well, I think that's it. Immediately, he knows that I don't need to find anything else. You might look for Tempered Sword, but he has silver arrows, so Master Sword with silvers. It's not ideal for Ganon, but it's certainly doable. And there's the lantern in Thieves Town. So early chest in Thieves Town would give you our complete go mode. This is an outstanding seed that we're about to see here. Yeah, and as Chap points out correctly, at this point, he's got to know what's necessary. If he's comfortable with these dark rooms, then I guarantee you we're about to see probably one of the fastest seeds through this tournament at this point. I believe my understanding is the quickest time on a restreamed race was 1 hour 12 minutes and some change. I've also seen 1 hour 14 as well, so this is going to potentially be on par with those. And barring when he fits Thieves Town in, it's going to significantly change things as well. With getting that lantern early on, would mean that he doesn't even have to worry about the dark rooms. And chat, asking, well, don't you need hookshot for ice? Not when you're in go mode. And even then, bomb jumps are possible, and depending on the key layouts, there's some other routing options you could take that make it significantly easier. So I would say that this is pretty much...
Yeah, there is the possibility that hookshot is required, but absolutely possible that he could just ignore all that.
And hookshot is definitely not required when you can hover.
The question is, does he really want to gamble on hovering?
I think that if you know you could do it and you have a good idea that your opponent can't, it's always going to be a significant advantage for you. And of course, along the way, could easily find the hookshot just while searching for big keys and such. So there's never going to be a moment where he's going to feel behind, I think, at this point.
Meanwhile, there's that damn shovel in a blind cell taunting Aestolia as she rescues the princess. Or the fake princess, actually. As we're gonna have a blind kill, and one of the better parts of the randomizer, the blind puns.
Yeah, and we're gonna see Kana Burna strats on blind here. It's pretty easy to just poke him a few times, then turn on your invincibility, finish the fight off.
And Zasas has picked up his big key. Powders a fairy for some extra hearts. And he's going to be going straight to Vitreous. Yes, there's Aestolia using that Kana Burna, both offense and defensively. Very well done.
Yep, and Asazas, very careful to remember that there's a magic refill off to the side there before heading down into the dark part of the back of Misery Mire.
It's with the boots and the fire rod. It is also might be interesting. Asazas might go for the new tech we have going on with the fire rod King of Samaria, but he's.
I can't say that I've ever seen it in the dark.
I'm sure it loses something in the dark, given that we wouldn't have his audio.
Yeah,
but it looks like he may have, like, he voided the block. He may have it.
Nope, he's gonna go the traditional style here.
Okay, it's probably for the best. As Aestolia is making the play to pod, she's gonna do the pod Eastern double, which is not a bad play. She still needs a fire rod and hook shot for go mode, and technically the flippers. I'm sure she knows how to fake flipper over to Ice Palace if that's required.
Yeah, and so with that, Asazas has finished off the dark part of Misery Mire. Probably what some might consider the hardest of these dungeons is dark rooms, just because of the location of that one block.
Oh, Aestolia never got either the items in Sahasrarlo's hut, or yeah, that must be it. Meanwhile, Asazas is taking out Vitreous, machine gunning the tiny eyeballs with the silver arrows.
Well, there's a tempered sword.
Wow.
So it'd be hopeful, it'd be really nice for Asazas if he actually decides to check the back of that hut, but we'll see.
Meanwhile, Aestolia trying to set up the mirror warp just got mirror bonked just a little bit.
So it's really just a matter of what path will Asazas take through all of the dungeons. Doesn't have to go into Desert Palace because that's a pendant.
Nope. He is probably he's fluting to Kakariko, so he's going to Thieves Town. He's gonna get his lamp.
I would guess this is Thieves Town Skullwoods or Skullwoods Thieves Town. Either or is pretty quick.
Either way, do that double.
So.
Well, yeah, right. He does have the fire rod.
This is potentially a seed for the ages, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching this, consider yourselves very lucky because we'll probably never see a seed like this again.
It is very unlikely. This is just wow.
So he'll pick up his lamp here in Thieves Town, which just kind of makes this even easier for him.
Yeah, the thing is, the only dark room left that he would need, since Turtlerock's a pendant, the only other one he needs to do is pod, which there is Eastern. Yeah.
But either way, and I mean that's a speed increase to have the lantern over not, but since he's looking for the big key anyway, he definitely
as he finds his lamp, He's sadly not going to find the hookshot for True Go mode in here, but Aestolia might find it here in a pod. She does not have big key yet. She needs to get the fire rod from the digging game at some point. and also will probably very much like to get the silver arrows from old Stumpy.
Yep. And so chat mentioning like that there's the possibility of Hookshot being in Ganon's Tower. It can't be because Ice Palace is required, and you need the flippers, and those are blocked behind the Hookshot. So it can't be in Ganon's Tower. The Hookshot has to be somewhere out in the overworld.
Meanwhile, Aestolia has found her big key, so it's going to be interesting how much more the dungeon she clears looking for these last two items. Probably is going to have... Like, I believe for Skullwood's Fire Rod is 100% required. There's no way to do it with just a lamp.
Yeah, you do need the Fire Rod to open up the back part of Skullwoods.
Oh, right, just to ignite the thing, yeah.
Yeah. And you also needed to fire that last torch, but you'd have to have it to get in.
Fair enough. So Aestolia is going to dig the rest of Pod, whereas asazas will probably be in go mode, running himself through it.
And the reality of this situation is we're going to see 6 go mode dungeons on Azaza's side of the screen. 6 out of the 7 required dungeons in this game.
Well, there's Ether, not that Aestolia is going to need it for anything.
I don't think I've ever... I usually get happy if I have 2 go mode dungeons in a particular seed, so 6
is this is insane. We're definitely going to have to ask him about that. And he's pretty well equipped, too. Because I can't see Asazas not at least checking Sahasrahla while he's on the way to Eastern and Pod. So that'll be Tempered Sword as well as Silvers.
And some of the dungeons that he doesn't have to do, like, and other things that are just going to go in his favor. Turtle Rock is an extremely long dungeon in the grand scheme of things. So is Swamp Palace.
Swamp Palace is really quick if you do it in go mode, but if you're looking for items, it can be very slow.
Right.
But you're right. The fact that he's not gonna have to worry about it.
Yeah, he's just got like a great draw for dungeons as well, just for a phenomenal time. Right. Ice Palace in go mode is relatively quick. Just 2 or 3 minutes really.
Meanwhile, Aestolia has found everything she can in here. She's going to Helmasaur King from here. And it looks like, yeah, Asazas is... No, he's not doing Skullwoods immediately. He's checking... Oh, yeah, he is. He's just going a different path to it.
Yep, it's going right to the back part of it.
Yep, he just needs to get the big key. I believe you do need the big key in a Skullwoods.
So yeah, this is a real straight shot now for the back to get to Mothula.
Yeah, because apparently you don't need the big key. You can just run it.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Aestolia... Yeah, Aestolia going through what many call the worst room in the game with all these turtles.
A fairly clear path through. Just 1 extra hammer required. And Azizas is going to now deal with the Mothula fight. You know, on Master Sword with no magic left it's almost hard. Almost.
Yeah, almost. And look at that window the spikes were giving him to get hits in on Mothula, and right there, that's the end of the Moth Radio Hour for Asazas. Just 10 arrows, but that's definitely useful.
Incredible RNG there to keep that kept the moth off the spikes.
Yeah, I mean, you see that gap on the floor that they could just keep the moth pinned in, as Aestolia gets a really nice kill on Helmasaur King as well.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm imagining that we're going to see a mirror over to Eastern Palace, Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, without the book, he can't even make a ped check. Not that he wants to. Yep,
And
that's exactly what he's doing.
We do need to add our Thieves Town check on the tracker there.
Yeah, Thieves Town and Skullwoods now. So he's going to do this double. He's going to go mode Ice Palace, and he's going to go straight to Tower.
Yeah, and we could see an entry into the Ganon's Tower in around the hour mark, I would think. Maybe
yeah, the sub-hour is probably a little bit too much to ask at this point, but holy crap, this is going to be very fast. Especially if Asazas can hold on and pull off the hover on Moldorm 2. That's really the only thing that is really standing in his way. He's going to have a ton of tries at it. Like, at that point, why even bother fighting Moldorm?
Yeah, that's true. Could just if he can get the hover started early enough, just to bypass it completely.
And Asazas is he set a warp point. He's doing Eastern first before Pod.
Yep, and finding the big key right off the bat.
Yeah, so he's not even going to worry about the rest of this, where Aestolia is going to do some checking in the rest of this dungeon.
He is being very confident in his hovering ability because he's not searching for that hook shot anywhere else. So I'm assuming that Asazas has practiced that Trolldorn hover.
I mean, I believe that's 23 hovers in order to pull that off. And each one of those, I want to say, is frame perfect.
Yeah, it is. It is a single. You have a one frame, and on an emulator, it's even more difficult. I believe. I don't know exactly what system Asazas is.
I believe he's playing on a SNES Classic.
Yeah.
Asasa's not even taking 5 seconds to check the big chest.
There's just no need. Picks up a couple extra arrows just to make sure.
Although with silvers, this is going to be laughably easy.
Yep, but I think it's less about arrows for now and more about arrows for later.
You do make a good point. And beautiful spin to get through those worms as he's in the Armos fight. Goodness me. And gets the Bloomerang for his troubles here in Eastern, but Asazas is playing absolutely out of his mind today.
Yeah, just execution has been on point. This is for a 3-2 runner, you expect to see a little bit of a difference in the caliber of play. He is playing outrageously well.
Like, this is almost unfair to Aestolia that she got this draw.
Well, and also, as well, just the layout of the seed, like, to provide a go mode with a person against a player who can hover that early on.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even like getting the flippers early is going to be such an advantage. You could fake flipper your way to it. It's the fact that, oh, by the way, I can hover. I don't need hookshot for anything. That's just insane.
Yes, it's just a perfect storm of items. And I tell you what, the interview at the end of this one is just going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, also, Aestolia, when she sees the dot done from Asazas, I'm sure she's going to be wondering, how the heck did he get so fast?
What happened?
She's making really good time. I mean, this is going to be your third Triforce, and she's only missing two items, the fire rod and the hook shot.
Yeah, and the fire rod is just a dig game. She'll get there at some point. It's not even a. It's a very common. So Azazas is just looking for the big key here.
And I believe he'll find it fairly shortly. I want to say it was. I want to say it was in the arena, maybe. We also had at some point a. We had at some point a trying to think. Oh, a third bottle pickup.
Yep, and there's the big key. So Azazas is now on his way out of Palace of Darkness as soon as he finishes off Hamsar King.
Aestolia checking Desert Ledge, and she's gonna probably take on Meyer. She's got all three medallions, so it doesn't matter what it is. Oh, Asasa's already had the big key, just needed the small key to get through the rest of it.
Yeah, I just actually picked that up. That's an extra small key as well, just because he picked up the big key and was just making his way back to this part of the Palace of Darkness. And
yeah, there's no reason to not check chests that are in your path.
Exactly. You know, and finding the hook shot, you know, even if you can hover, finding the hook shot really, you know, it's faster, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Unless you want to do a Trolldorm skip. But.
And here's Aestolia with the checkerboard cave check. This was available really early and leads to the book. That opens up Ether and Bombos tablets for her, which might incentivize the whole Frog World tour into Purple Chest sequence. One thing about VT29, it really changed the logic a bit and made overworld items a lot more attractive. It got rid of some of the bias that was in the dungeons for progression items.
It's still fairly close to one another, but it really significantly improved. It used to be much more skewed towards dungeon having progression. Now it's
bombing Agina, only finding a heart in there. So she is not happy. She's got to be looking for that fire rod.
So Azazas takes down Hamsar King there in another single shot. 52 minutes and 30 seconds in, is down to one dungeon. Ice Palace is one of those dungeons that you can get to and complete in about 3.5 minutes if you are full go moding it.
And
the key behaves.
Oh, he's been doing everything else. He has to be in go mode for this. But this is going to be absolutely insane to see how this plays out. And yeah, he can just fake flipper his way to the island.
Well, he doesn't even have to fake flipper his way. He's got
it.
Oh,
right. He's got regular flippers, yeah.
Looks like he's going to go and get some safety. And I like this because you're about to make go mode.
Yeah, you're making go mode hookshotless GT. The last thing you want to do is have a stupid Ganon death and have all of that work be for nothing.
Wow. So at 53 minutes and 45 seconds or so, this is going to enter this. I'd like really keeping track of the time here is going to be an interesting thing to see how fast we can make our way through Ice Palace.
And Aestolia breaking out the Quake medallion to get through those whiz robes that were giving her plenty of problems. And we know that the hookshot can't be here in Ice Palace because logically you needed the flippers, which were in Hookshot Cave. Asazas managed to hover his way over to them.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that the hookshot's probably somewhere overworld, really, at this point, just based on the dungeons that we know Aestolia has full cleared.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where the biggest biggest setup of items that would be most likely to have that. Probably the Froggy World Tour scenario where you do the world tour. You can check Mad Batter as well. There's a lot of places, especially one-off places that you can check that are otherwise really out of the way.
Yeah, and you know what? We haven't actually seen Zora, what the waterfall there, the ledge. None of that's been checked. So that's a pretty high item location.
That's 4 more spots. And asazas with this Ice Palace bomb jump, of course, he gets it first try. Why would you expect anything different?
Yeah, that's a fairly straightforward one. It's a lot easier than the second bomb jump that you kind of sometimes have to be able to perform if you don't have the hook shot. But
the Ice Palace bomb jump, yeah, there's a really consistent setup, but it does require a lot of precision.
Mm-hmm.
But like he just got into the right position and just ran.
Yep, and you're about to see just how fast Ice Palace really is because he's just a few feet away from getting to Cold Stare.
Did he get the big key? I wasn't sure I saw it.
That's not necessary because he can fall down from here.
Oh, right. He can just do this. Yeah, holy crap.
So we entered at about 154, and we're going to exit at about 157. With a full magic start and Bombos to get Cold Stare out, he's going to have some Fire Rod shots to make up for the fact that he only has Tempered or Master Sword.
Yeah. He's gonna break out Bombos. I'm really a fan of Bombos in Cold Stare if you have the magic. There's no reason not to.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we should be getting ready because just a few short moments Azaz is going to take care of Cold Stare, and we are on. We'll be on the point where it's time to guess where Ganon's Tower Big Key is going to be. So, if you are a member of or a subscriber to the Speed Gaming family of channels, any of the Speed Gaming channels works, or you've donated 250 bits to one of the Speed Gaming channels, you're eligible to participate in this exciting tournament. And all you have to do is once Azazas finishes off this boss, which he's just about to do, you will then enter a number from 1 to 22 as where you think the big key is going to be located.
So Crowzone, what's your call for this big key?
I'm going to go number 3. I'm going to give it the torch. I'm going to say that he could get it on the first. It could be number 1 check for him, but he's going to go right side first and then go to the left.
I'm going to go with my standard call of chest number 5. Normally, it is the second chest in the randomizer room. And Zaza's just going to save and quit up to the old man, which is much better. He also gets a full health refill. I mean, I suppose he'd get the same health refill even if he fluted his way up here, but probably a little bit quicker. Yeah, this is going to be sub-hour Ganon entry. This is unheard of, really.
Yeah, and the potential here for a very quick Ganon's Tower is still in play.
Meanwhile, Aestolia breaking out one of my favorite strats for Vitreous. The cane dashing strats might usually a little bit easier to do with the cape, but still took out a good number of eyeballs with that. Also, Aestolia down to 4 hearts. She's got to be careful.
I'm curious to see whether or not this is going to be a sub. Yeah, I believe it'll be a sub 1 hour in an entry.
Yeah,
it's close,
not by much, but by enough.
And I'm not going to lie, I'm on the hype train. I just want it to be as fast as possible, so I'm really excited to see where Ganon's Tower Key is going to be.
Aestolia, not being a slouch by any means, takes down Vitreous. That's her 5th Triforce. She only has Skullwoods and Ice Palace left, but she doesn't have the hookshot or the Fire Rod.
Yeah, and as well, no flippers because of that means that Ice Palace is technically out of logic for her. But I'm certain we would be able to. She'll be able to fake flipper there if she needed to.
So here we go. Chest number 1, heart container. Chest number 2, bomb upgrade. So here we go. Chest number 3.
Oh, 300.
300 rupees. So swing and a miss for you.
Yeah,
Let's
but
see
it
where
does,
Aestolia's headed.
does mean Bob.
Oh, she's gonna. And she may be headed towards Skull Woods, hoping the fire rod's there. It's at the digging game.
Well, no matter what, this is. Ooh, look at this.
We got more
Has to do the hovers.
Oh, right, because you normally hookshot to that
Yeah.
and then start bouncing. Wow.
These are relatively short hovers, so in the scheme of things, they're significantly easier.
Spot 4, small key. Spot 5, $20. Spot 6 is a key. Spot 7, a heart. And he's gonna bombos these Stalfos out. Just so he can get out of the room a bit quicker.
Yep, and you can
Asazas
bonk
with
your way across the rest of
Yeah,
this.
bonk your way across the rest of it, yeah. So here we go. Chest number 8, $50. Ganon's Tower apparently telling Asazas, yeah, you may be good, but slow your roll a little bit, buddy. And it looked like that was a cane dash from Asazas to get through that. As we head to the Fire Snake room and chest number 9.
Another hover location that he'll have to do.
Yeah. And he's got enemies that he's got to deal with too. And
No problem.
Clean. My word, small key for chest number 9, you're out. Into the rando room he goes. This is almost cruel. So chest number 10, 10 arrows. Chest number 11, the map. Chest number 12, the compass. Chest number 13, a shield upgrade. He never got the small shield that Aestolia did, huh?
Yeah, and you got to feel like he's hoping to find the tempered sword as well in here somewhere, just to.
I mean, it's
make life
entirely
easier.
possible. There's one sword upgrade out there. But going on to 14, I believe there's only there's not too many more places before we get to vanilla and right side. And Aestolia, without her fire rod, is not going to be able to get here anywhere. As we go to 14, Bob Chest 2.0, just a big 20. So we're going to have some Armos Knights. And she never checked the rest of the overworld here in Death Mount in the Dark World.
Ooh, very nice. Armos
That was almost textbook.
Sliding across.
We
for
have
swag.
15. There's that sword upgrade.
Wow.
16, 300, 17, 3 bombs. So right side was the correct play.
Yep, but he had not a key, so he couldn't do it.
Yeah,
so this was the
couldn't have done it the first go anyway, yeah. And we have the net in the brewery. But everything's coming up as Asazas here. Aestolia will get her fire rod out of here with the digging game. Probably do the rest of the Froggy World tour. And she has to feel that she's about at parity, maybe a tiny bit behind once she finds this fire rod. I mean, she hasn't taken any crazy gambles except for their early Turtle Rock dive.
Mhm.
Like, there's nothing to think that she would be facing off someone who's in Ganon's Tower right now.
And deep in Ganon's Tower, to be fair.
And
Big 20 there.
18. Big 20, 19, 10 arrows, 20, a nickel, 21.
Oh,
it's a tile room! Oh!
Oh, of all of the places
getting
it could have been.
Yes, getting the troll at the last second.
It's like you want a world
Aestolia
record.
just barely
No.
getting her fire rod. There's some frustration slashes. And Mass Connect, our first sub or bit collector with the tile room call, so he's gonna pick up his win, he or she.
On top of this,
Yeah.
don't even have the cape to make this an easy tile room. We're gonna have to run all the way around.
Yep, a little bit of running. He does have that fairy sitting around if he ever does need it. There, he picks it up. And Aestolia going straight back into Skullwoods with her fire rod to finish that. No, she's not going to do fire rod. She's gonna get potions. Okay. So at hour 6, Sasa's heading up the tower.
Yes, it took 6 minutes to find the big key. It took him less time to do 3 dungeons.
That's kind of crazy. Actually, who am I kidding? That's completely crazy. And he got Tempered Sword out of the digs going up.
Oh, gets knocked off, but now you could just do an invulnerability frames.
Yeah, you can just go with the iframes once you get knocked off. As Sasa's into the gauntlet. Making his way through the gauntlet very, very well.
Yeah, just, you know...
The combination of Tempered Sword, Silver Arrows, just tearing through everything.
Yep, and mobs are behaving today. Really nice there in this particular final room.
Yeah, that was very well done. He's going to skip the fairy and set up this one cycle on the Landmolas. There's the big key right next to Moldorm's chest, or Mothula's room.
Getting a little bit of a magic replenishment there before heading up to the Wizrobe room.
And the strat for this room is so cool. It looks amazing. Yeah, I imagine it must be fun to play as well. Aestolia busting out Ether to freeze the zombies. Or just kill the zombies, I guess that works. Gets a magic refill, and she's gonna light these torches, and she'll be on to the moth. Wouldn't it be something if Hookshot was at Zora, especially after both our runners spent all the money they would normally have used in order to get the item?
Quite possible. It's not making the mistake picking up that extra key from the Helmsor room.
And one last chest. Not sure what he could really want for, as he's not even going to bother. And here we're going to see...
Let's see. Are we going to get the full skip?
He's going to go for it.
Yep. Trolldorm behaves, gives him a nice...
And wow, that is unbelievable.
Never mind you, Trolldorm 2.
Yeah, he could still post a sub 115 if Aghanim decides to behave.
Oh, easily, I would say.
But yeah, first try hover. This is just absolutely amazing. Aestolia's got her... that's her 6th Triforce. She only needs Ice Palace, but she still needs the hook shot unless she can bust out some hover tech of her own.
So just a single double.
This looks like this is good for a double, maybe a triple.
Oh,
just fine.
And there goes Aga 2 at 1 hour 10 minutes. With the with Tempered Sword, a good cycle on Ganon here, we could easily see a 112, 113.
Yeah, it probably won't be the absolute fastest, but it's still going to be crazy fast regardless.
Yeah. Yeah,
now, also notice...
Sorry, you can't even... You got to blame those big key location for this, with the delay here. We could have easily been about 2 or 3 minutes ahead of this.
Oh, absolutely. And getting those tempered slashes in, he's already in the fire bat phase. I believe he's still got at least 2 blue potions, maybe 3. And he's already out of fire bat phase.
Yeah. So he's got the potions for health.
Going absolutely crazy here. And he pops one of them right there. Yeah, chat's pointing out that asazas missed 1 hover and hook shot cave, and that was pretty much it the entire seed.
And now he's hit phase 4 here at...
Yeah, hit phase 4 right as Aestolia is about to pick up her silver arrows, lining up the hook shot for Torch Glitch, but misses.
But is going to get a double out of this.
Oh, and he does! He's one hit away, and oh my goodness!
Oh, we are so close to the beast. Stop at 112, but it won't be today.
It is not to be, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be the fastest run of the tournament. There's the door. There's the dot done. Everyone get your GGs and OMGs in the chat. Asazas winning this race with 1 hour, 12 minutes, 10 seconds.
Wow.
Time for another one? Yeah, I think we do.
Just an outrageous time there.
This is beyond outrageous. Aestolia still looking for that hook shot and the flippers. Thankfully for her, one will lead to the other. But, oh my goodness. So we are going to see if we can get asazas in here for a quick interview. Yeah, this could have broken 1 hour 10 if not for Tyrone being a troll.
And with that, welcome Asazas to the channel. Congratulations, GG.
That
was incredible.
Well, that was introducing. And first of all, I'd like to apologize to everyone for the poor quality of the stream. I don't know, something technical. Some technical difficulties. Yeah, I'll I'll have to check that out, and so it doesn't happen again. But
suffice to say, you more than made up for it with those hovers. First to get the flippers from Hookshot Cave, then the hovers all through Ice Palace, through Ganon's Tower, including the Moldorm 2 hover. First try, that was just... There are no words for what you pulled off this seed. Absolutely none.
I literally learned how to hover last week.
Well, whoever taught you very, very well. That's all I can say.
Yeah, pretty good scene. And I am bummed out about that's the seed to get poor quality in, but
Yeah.
oh well.
And the other thing that I must say to you, it must almost feel bad to see that 22, the tile room, Ganon's Tower Big Key, probably added about 2 or 3 minutes to your time. Were you getting a little frustrated with that?
Yeah, I kind of messed up the sub 110 there. But still, this is the best time I've gotten in Rando by far, so far.
Yeah, see, that's what Hover does for you.
Yeah, I believe that's the best seed we have of the tournament. I'm going to have to double check a bit, but that definitely sounds right. We still don't know where the hookshot is. Aestolia hasn't found it yet.
Wow, so it was pretty awful.
Well, to be fair, she's 5 crystals in.
6.
6 crystals in.
So
it could be in one of the pendant dungeons, and that'll be kind of a disappointment. She's about to check Catfish out. She's done a lot of the overworld checks that you obviously could have skipped, but I would say up until she notices that your done has happened, she's probably feeling pretty good.
I'm pretty sure she's noticed. Probably hasn't said anything, but I'd be very surprised if she hasn't noticed.
Well, I mean, it depends on if you're focusing on it or not.
Yeah, I suppose. Anyway, here's a Catfish check. We have just another bomb upgrade on the pedestal and a piece of heart at Catfish.
So, Azazas, that puts you up to 4 and 2. Do you feel like how do you feel your chances are now for that 5th win coming up next week?
Well, it's definitely not going to be an easy one. The 4 and 2 bracket is pretty scary, but I mean, now I am here, so I have to try.
Well, you never know. You might end up with another seed like this.
Yeah, that's certainly possible.
Also,
really,
I may end
the only gamble that Aestolia made that didn't pay off that well, she found the Quake Medallion in Hookshot Cave, same as you, and decided that with the Key of Samaria, it was good to give Turtle Rock a quick check.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Big Key was the first chest, so it was a very, well, fortunately perhaps for her, without the hook shot, couldn't really go much further than that first treasure chest location.
And we also know that the witch didn't have the hook shot, and also Zora has nothing but a life lesson for Aestolia, so that's not the answer to her problems either. And she realized that in picking up the bomb, she lost the blacksmith, so she's got to go recur and get him back again.
Mm-hmm. So as we recover from that impressive speed there, Azazas, was there, at what moment did you realize that you were go with your hover?
Well, I realized while I was checking the when I flew to Misery Mire, basically. So I didn't quite realize when I got the fire rod.
Right.
But yeah, basically I was about to take the purple chest, and when I thought, wait, what? What? Like, let's check the Mire medallion, and I am probably done.
Yeah, that's what we kind of speculated that was what was happening while you were, because you turned in Jeremiah, and then you kind of just turned around and were like, oh, maybe I am done. And so it's good to see that we read that correctly.
Aestolia is going to check the Mad Batter on her way to turning in the blacksmith. She actually picked up a tempered sword upgrade. It was in Sahasrah's hut, was the one that you missed. And wait a minute,
half magic.
Yeah, how vanilla? Come on, game.
So also, were you getting a little bit of a relief when you picked up the tempered sword there after defeating Armos Knights? Azazas?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, quite a lot. I mean, that alone, I think, made the whole left side trip worth it.
Right. We were wondering. We knew that you probably weren't going to, but we were almost crossing our fingers because there was a sword upgrade in Saharshala's hut. So when you were going to Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness, we were wondering, oh, I wonder if he'll just check those 3 chests just in case the hookshot's there or something. But no, you were full on committed for the go mode at that point.
Meanwhile, it looks like Aestolia is going to see what's in the purple chest, and she'll probably take a look at the Bombos tablet. She did find the book that was in Checkerboard Cave.
Yeah, Checkerboard Cave had the book. And chat's still asking, where's the hookshot? Well, your guess is as good as ours because we have not yet found it.
We know it's not anywhere they've already checked. It could be in deserts. It could be early in swamp. That's entirely possible.
Yeah, both of our runners have basically stayed out of pendant dungeons except for that single item dip into Turtle Rock that Aestolia's made.
Yeah, and that play was entirely defensible with the information that she had at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not going to fault her for that whatsoever.
Well, the hookshot cannot be in swamp, right?
You're right. Because you need flippers.
Flippers, yeah. So it could be in desert.
Could be in desert. Could be later on in Turtle Rock.
Well, it can't be in Turtle Rock because they need the hookshot. Oh no.
Yeah, you don't need.
No, because they have the fire rod.
You don't need hookshot for anything. You just always come in with it. And it can't be in Ganon's Tower because it's like, well, yeah, you checked everything in Ganon's Tower, didn't you?
Well, because you needed hookshot technically for one of the pendant or one of the crystal dungeons.
Ice Palace?
No, which one? Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, Aestolia is gonna check Hobo from here. She never got the chance. She's decided to fake flipper, and she might end up fake flippering her way all the way. Oh,
takes the snipe.
Sniped. Unfortunate there. So let's see where she decides to go here. She's gonna try that again.
Oh, you needed flippers for Ice Palace. And you needed hookshot to get the flippers.
Right,
so
okay, it can't be in Ice Palace. So it has to be either Desert, Turtle Rock, or, like, GT Big Chest? Can it even be there?
So at this point, Aestolia is choosing to fake flipper her way into Hobo.
She's doing Hobo again, hoping not to get hit again.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about this play for her because hookshot can't be here, although she doesn't know that, because she has no way of knowing that hookshot is behind.
That the flippers are behind the hookshot.
That arrow hitting the shield there.
Yeah, that was very close. There's another 300 rupees that may make her think to go to Zora, but I believe we checked the waterfall caves already. The ledge is the mushroom, and we know from Azasa's credits that Zora just has a life lesson.
Yeah, wow. So just looking at this, collection rate of 113 items of 216, so literally half the items checked. That's pretty...
A little more than half. 50% would be 208.
You're right. Math fails.
I think that's the lowest I've ever seen.
Yeah, we know they can't be in the waterfall cave, and we know they can't be at Zora, so yeah, they almost have to be in Desert or Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and it's heartbreaking because clearly there's the cape. Clearly you want to just find your way to one of these last things. Like, this actually tends to be the case in a lot of V29 seeds where you're hunting for that last item before you're truly in go mode.
I mean, I don't
Unless
think that's
you're-
necessarily a bad thing, though.
Nope. But it is rare. So we actually hit go mode where at about an hour or about a half an hour.
Yeah,
just
just before 30 minutes, yeah. And we didn't even consider it until you showed us in a hookshot cave that, yeah, that's a trick in your arsenal, and that is one heck of a trick, I'll tell you that much. Aestolia getting the life lesson from the Master Con Man. I didn't even know there were Enron stocks still in existence. So let's see what she decides to do with this. And this looks like it'll probably be desert. She's checked. She's full cleared mire. She'll probably just backdoor her way into desert through this.
Yeah, and you know, this is where she has to be hoping it's here as opposed to Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock is a much longer set of checks to clear.
Yeah, that's very true. Also, she doesn't have Ice Rod to potentially get it off of Trinex.
Oh. Now, the most painful thing will be finishing this and getting Ice Rod and going, oh.
Oh, yeah, that would be terrible. Yeah, so for her sake, I really hope that it's not that far in. Like, give her a hook shot in the big chest that's right here.
But yeah, Ice Rod here in desert would be just so frustrating to get chained all the way through the pendant dungeons.
So there's still 2 more chests you can check in here, plus there's also the land mullins that have an item. I believe there's 2 items.
Yeah, 2 items here. There's one of them.
Yep. So if she finds the other item, and hopefully she finds it quickly, she'll know that this is a bust, and it's got to be TR.
Mm-hmm. There's also, of course, the chance that there's something on Bumper Cave. I don't think either runner gave us a look at what's there.
I thought Asazas took a quick peek at it, but I could have been mistaken.
Oh, double bombs. And in fact, now that I think about it, the cape being water flipper locked means that it couldn't be on Bumper Cave anyway.
Right. Well, no, the cape was here.
It was in Waterfall of Wishing, so...
Right, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she's got to recalibrate, figure out... And now she's probably doing a pet check.
I think, actually, she might be checking... Oh, she could be checking Pedestal.
Yeah.
It can't be Hookshot Pedestal, but it could because Swamp requires it.
Yeah, no, that's not even... yeah, this could be that, or she could be heading towards Bumper Cave.
Be looking at Bumper Cave, yeah.
There's also a clifftop ledge that never got checked. We checked the King's Tomb early and Bonk Rocks early, but we never got the ledge check. But yeah, Asazas, what do you think about your general routing through the half an hour that you actually had to route?
Well, it's fortunate more than anything. I mean, just all the items I needed happened to be on my way. So, I mean, it's just a decision that paid off. Just starting with Hype Cave and just getting to digging game, and I was done.
Yeah, and I will say that the big play like that really got you there was going up to King's Tomb and Bumper Cave to get the Cane of Samaria and
the hammer, King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks.
Yeah.
And then it looked like you were having a bit of trouble in the you had a little bit of trouble getting through Death Mountain in the dark, but you handled it rather well.
Through Death Mountain? Well, I think I had more trouble getting through Misery Mire, honestly.
Yeah, not the first room, but the mini maze there in Misery Mire gave you a little bit of trouble. Not much, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, compared to everything else that could have tripped you up, that was rather sedate.
And it looks like Aestolia, just looking at the map there, well, thinking about where to flute, realizes that, well, Turtle Rock is open, and this dead rock is just...
Yeah, she's got the fire rod, so she can get further than she did last time. Catfish was checked, just had a piece of heart. In Spike Cave, I know the asazas checked, I'm pretty sure that was just a heart container. So yeah, pretty much, I think this is the only place... Oh, there's also Ether Tablet. She can check that on the way up.
Yeah. And you know, like, we're watching somebody run for the last like half an hour as she's making her way through the seed, but time-wise, this is not a poor time in any way, shape, or form for Aestolia. Like, this seed,
oh no,
like, about what it required.
Yeah, even if it's like ice, even if it's worst case, like Ice Rod on Laser Bridge, Hookshot on Trinex, she's still gonna get this in under 2 hours. And with the seed logic as it should have been, that's a very respectable time.
So another pause here while she's trying to figure out what she's missed.
I think she's
fluting away.
Maybe not. Thought she'd come to the conclusion.
Not pulling the trigger on.
Oh, yeah. Is she just going to go into Ice Rod without it? And she must be thinking that there's some weird thing in asazas that just fake flippered his way over to Ice Palace. He did, but doesn't solve her problem of where's the hook shot.
Well, he had the flippers from Hookshot Cave.
Yeah,
but this is she could easily think that that he found Hookshot here in Ice Palace, and not knowing that Hookshot was or flippers were behind Hookshot. So
yeah, so she's not gonna get anything from here, and it's gonna be interesting to see if she decides to try full clearing Ganon's Tower, hoping Hookshot's in there. Because in her mind, since the only level that absolutely requires it is Swamp, it could be. There is, I guess, the complete Miser play. It could be in Big Chest of Ganon's Tower, couldn't it? No, because
technically she could think that it could
get flips.
Yeah, the interesting thing here is, because of our knowledge that you need that one led directly to the other, that kind of makes, like, doubles up the amount of logical elements required to find something. And so as far as Aestolia is concerned, that's not something that is necessarily the case.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm trying to think on looking at the tracker in my head. I'm trying to think of what it could possibly be that she's left, and I can't think of anything.
And it's definitely Turtle Rock at this point, and I think what we're going to see here, there's a real good chance that she'll finish off Ice Palace and go into Ganon's Tower, and then be forced into a double dip situation, which is unfortunate, but...
Once it's entirely possible she just finds out that it's Tile Room. Well, I mean, there's also the fact that there's the Stalfos room that normally has the chests 3 through 6 that, unless she can hover, without the thing she won't be able to, without the hook shot, she won't be able to get in.
Yeah, and that's, that's just going to force her into a double dip situation, most likely. And we will see probably some frustration there.
Yeah,
unless she has the hover. Pulls it out during Trolldorm 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be something, I'll say that. And she's having a bit of trouble with this bomb jump. Like I said, once you have the setup for it, it's easy, but it's very precise to set up.
Yeah, and her sprite that she's wearing right now is just a little bit non-standard in shape. So if you're not used to positioning based on that, it might be more difficult. And
she does get through it though, and let's see. Gonna be bowling for penguins, gets a strike. Like, Aestolia is playing just perfectly fine for what the seed's dealing them, which is honestly pretty trolly if you follow the logic the way it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, what appears to be the required dip at least into Turtle Rock is, you know, it's not an uncommon situation to have take place, but we all understand, I think, why one would try to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah, for sure. And the single rupee in the Stalfos boss chest, and let's see what the vanilla big key chest has.
Just the small key there.
Yeah, there's there's
still the chest down
here. It's really interesting to think, had she gone into if she had found the Fire Rod before going into Turtle Rock, this is an entirely different race.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was possible as well to do that, but the Call of Death Mountain, once you have Titan's Mitts, is just so high.
Oh no, I mean, nothing about her play today has been bad. It just, sometimes you can break the logic so badly that it just shatters, and that's what happened with asazas.
So we'll get a look at what's inside the big key chest here. Just the map.
And it's a little unfortunate. Also, asazas, one thing that we noticed, pretty much the only potential hover that you didn't do the hover in Misery Mire. Is that just not one that you have been willing to practice, or haven't practiced, or did you just not feel like you wanted to do it?
No, I just don't feel consistent with my hovers, so I do them out of necessity, nothing else. So I try to minimize the amount of hovers I have to do in a race. So if it has to be known, or if it can be known, I won't hover because I don't feel confident on it.
Oh, after a race like this, maybe you feel a little more confident.
Because I think we only saw you miss one in Hookshot Cave, right?
I think.
I failed several times in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every one of the future hovers was just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, kinda lucky there as well.
Yeah, well, I guess you know that you'll be. I can imagine you'll be Oh, there's the ice rod.
Oh boy.
I imagine you'll continue to practice this week coming up for your week 7 round, just in case you need to use that again.
Well, yeah, probably. Although, I mean, it's just there's not a whole lot of seeds where hovering gives you this much of an advantage, you know. So, I mean, it's not like you need to hover to be a great player of this. I don't want to rely on it to win races or anything.
Yeah, if that were the case, of course, everybody who would be making sure that they had that skill in their back pocket. You're right. It is a very select subset of seeds where it's going to come into play, but it certainly did today.
Also, chat pointing out that since the ice rod was here, that means that Trinex cannot have can't have the hook shot, because you would need the hook shot to get the flippers to get the ice rod.
Yeah.
So the worst place it can be is Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
And Aestolia taking very good use of that half magic, and she will have her 7th crystal. And she will... Oh, it's going to be interesting to see what she's going to do. She could go up to the Games Tower and hope to dig it out, but probably not. I expect she'll at least think to do at least some of Turtle Rock.
Yeah,
But
this
we'll
is
see.
this is one of
Regardless
those
of
gut check moments for her. And I'm going to think that just if she's aware of where the time was, I think she's going to head into Ganon's tower here.
I mean, she is going to reload her bottles, which I can't say I fault her for. So let's see what she decides to do. I mean, she has to take this route regardless of whether she's going to GT or Turtle Rock.
Yeah, she does not have the hook shot to cross the broken bridge.
And that tells me she, oh, did she not check Spike Cave?
Yeah, she has. She just has
No,
to get up top.
mirroring off. Okay, this, oh, yeah, gonna take the Turtle Rock portal, because you can't get there any other way.
Yeah. And you're already up the mountain from here, so you might as well.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see if she decides to do Turtle Rock, or if she decides to just gamble on GT.
Now, she's going to have that decision right away because she's portaling in here.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only portal up here that can get you to Ganon's tower.
Oh, she thought there was a pause there. And...
yeah.
Oh! What? She doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, I can't say I blame her, and she's going to go into Ganon's tower.
And I guarantee you that was a sword beam of, like, I know it's in there, the stupid hook shot, but I feel like it has to not be just because of the position timing-wise.
Yeah, so, if she's going to at least get a key to be able to get to Tower Room to get the big key, she doesn't need a hook shot for that, but Moldorm 2 is still going to be that, yeah.
Oh, now imagine there's a large number of potential like trolls that Ganon's Tower can throw at you. You could even have to go right side, left side, back to right side for tile room to get hook shot to go left side again. Now we know that that's not going to be what happens this time, but oh, spite killing of Bob. Turning him back into a normal fairy.
Yeah. And chat pointing out that if she does have to leave, it's just another walk over the bridge in order to get back to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it's not bad. So she's going to look here and go, I can bonk my way all the way down.
Yeah, she has to go a little bit of a roundabout way to do it, but it is doable. Oh yeah, you have to time that last one really well because of that trap.
Now, I'm not entirely sure what the logic on this is. If Ganon's Tower, like, hookshot list does count these chests below this on logic, I would assume that it does, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would assume it does because, well, just because you needed the hookshot in order to get in here, because you needed the hookshot to get to the, yeah, and she's bailing because next up was Fire Snake Room, and unless you can hover, nothing you can get there, so...
There was a hesitation about going to the tile room, but did not.
Well, she didn't have a key.
Yeah, at that point she had one.
Oh, right, and she burned it on double fire bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so going into Turtle Rock, at this point, this is literally her only option. And yes, I mean that literally, literally.
And no, you cannot make a bomb jump in the fire snake room, as someone is asking.
It's one of those things, it seemed like you could, but I mean, I certainly haven't found a way to make it work.
It's not a logical, like it's not in logic to do that.
Oh, and because she doesn't have the hook shot to avoid out, she has to do this room the long way too. I think she missed her. She missed her spot. And more frustration slashes on her side. Oh, and another miss, so she's gonna have to take a third loop. There we go.
And there's the key, and there's the hook
shot. There's the hook shot.
So at least it was an early hook shot for Aestolia there at Turtle Rock.
At least.
And now what that really means is as well that hookshot was actually logically available to us relatively early on. You just needed to hit dig game and the Cane of Samaria from King's Tomb.
Yeah, and like I said, if she had gotten Fire Rod before going in the first time, she gets that immediately, and she probably does that same mirror out. Yeah. Who knows how close this race could have been.
But that was also an awful set of efficiency for planning. Like, you wouldn't think that you needed to, that you would need to route all the way down, all the way back up, and all the way down again. You'd probably never really make that call in a real live situation.
No, and here's the worst part is she's going to go through all of this and she's going to be rewarded with the game saying, yeah, you gotta go do tile room just because. So go mode at 1 hour 46, and she will pick up the butter sword on her way through all this.
And now what this does mean, though, is that this is most likely going to be a sub 2 hour seed still. Like, this is a perfectly legitimate tournament race seed.
Also we found out the stun prize is a bomb. That's not for nothing. But no, I mean, for how trolly that one critical item location is, sub 2 is still absolutely viable time.
Yeah, and it wasn't even, you know, like, we look at this from a perspective of people who kind of know what was possible. And this seed wasn't particularly mean at this point. It was just, you know, you're going to have to dip a pendant dungeon, and Turtle Rock is a very nice dungeon to dip if you have to, because of its high item density.
Yeah, I believe there's 5 items in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and 6 technically when you throw in Mimic Cave, which is also there. So if you were, you know, it's really just a matter of where could it be? Now, another thing that I'm curious to ask her when she finishes will be if knowing that Asazas had finished impacted some of her decision making. Right?
I mean, I've certainly been of the advocate that, especially, it doesn't necessarily hold as true in one-on-one, but when you have these big races like the weeklies and such, I'm a big advocate of playing a bit to the crowd. Like, if it's like 1 hour 30 and no one's done, then you have to assume there's some really heavy trolling, and if you metagame against that, that can pay off.
Right, and so in this particular situation, when she sees that he's finished, she probably thinks, oh, this must have been straightforward. And so she started clearing pendant dungeon or crystal dungeons, made all of the decisions to avoid pendants whenever possible, and that may have impacted her completion. Now, of course, she wasn't going to finish ahead of him. It's not like it impacted things in that way.
Yeah,
But
another thing about it is, like, with her finding the hookshot where she did, the only thing that she needed was Fire Rod, and Fire Rod was fully... She may have thought that she just misrouted. I'm pretty sure she has no idea that asazas had so much to gain from those hovers.
yeah, and like I'm sure when we let her know what happened, she'll be a little taken aback by the situation.
Yeah, because now she's finished up the entire... She's got to go right side, so let's see.
She's got to go right side.
Yeah, she's finished up everything else, so let's see if she does tile room first just to get it out of the way. But yeah, chat pointing out that with the exception of that hookshot, every single required item, the bow, the boots, the glove, the pearl, the flute, all of that was available in the overworld. None of it was in the dungeon except for the hookshot. Also, Aestolia she's going to use the cape hug strat, where if you're pulling against a wall using a magic item, it doesn't actually drain any of your magic.
Additionally, not only were they all available, like they were all available by the 30-minute mark or so. Yes, Asazas was able to speed things up a little bit with that hover through Hover Cave, but
I mean, technically, the lamp was required in technically the lamp was in the was in Thieves Town. There's that big key for Aestolia. She'll be making her climb up. Gilga tax. The trick with not spending magic on the Kaimburna and the Cape, it's a little glitch where if you're holding a wall when you are using a magic item, it won't actually consume the magic. So that's how she was able to use the Cape through all of Tile Room. She just hugged the wall while everything was going on.
And so, at an hour 52, making the GT climb through the thing, through the gauntlet, Aestolia on a very good time, all things considering, for this seed.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of not wanting to go to Turtle Rock is completely, like, I understand exactly where she's coming from. You made that quick check, and you don't want to, like, once you make a quick check like that, you have to continue to try and leverage the fact that you didn't make that check and hope your opponent went deeper and just got nothing out of it. But that was a very clean gauntlet for Aestolia. She's playing really well.
Yep, that was actually as nice as you could have had. Asazas was also very good. We'll see if she can get a one cycle here on Land Molus 2. Looks pretty good.
Setup, and
there it is.
That's a clean Landmo 2. And she's got plenty of... And that's a full magic bar, actually, so she'll have no problem with the rest of this. She probably won't even need the magic refill in the eye room.
Oh.
Ooh, just...
I'm not even sure how that happened.
Yeah, because even worse, she had the setup for the kill on the last one. That should have been a 1 cycle.
Yeah, that was a bizarre kind of... Sometimes, you know, that room just gets the troll off on you.
Wizrobes, no sense of right and wrong.
I think just activating the block a little too soon, where that Wizrobe still had invulnerability frames.
So Aestolia, just a couple rooms away from Moldorm 2.
Oh, and then of course, insult to injury, the bomb won't move.
Yeah, I mean, there have been a lot of insults to injury, if we're being honest with this.
And so people in chat talking about learning how to hover, I must say, if you've ever tried it, it is incredibly hard.
Yeah, it's a frame perfect trick, and for this Moldorm hover, you have to do that frame perfect trick 23 times in a row, I believe.
I believe it's 23 frame perfect tricks in a row.
Yeah, so amazing props to Asazas for being able to do it. He was not able to pick up that lovely piece of heart in that last chest.
Yeah, it literally is one of those things that, well, it's great to have in your back pocket, and really can be very impactful in the No Major Glitches vanilla game.
Actually, hovering is considered a major glitch.
Oh, is it a major glitch for that?
Yeah, it is it's a major glitch, and pretty much for the randomizer only, it's allowed, just because it's so impractically used, I believe.
That shows how much No Major Glitches I watch, which is all of them.
Yeah, that's understandable. And now the Aghanims all getting way off script, so this is going to be even more of a pain.
There we go.
Yep. Yeah, so it's Aestolia in the Ganon fight gets the burrito message with butter and silvers and all the defenses she has. Should not have any problems at all. And apparently I'm wrong. Hovering is allowed in NMG. Thanks, guys.
Vindication.
And Aestolia will be getting her vindication against this seed rather shortly. Oh, that's... okay, I'm blaming
probably
chat.
does it for a sub 2 hour. And you commentator cursed very badly there.
Chat did it first. So she's gonna pick up a fairy from this tree and give it another go, and she'll get it this time. I'm calling it right now. Clean fight, no damage. If I do have this commentator curse thing, I must use it for the purposes of good.
So Butter Sword, of course, makes the first 2 phases incredibly quick. Just have to
Yeah.
deal with 1 round of Fire Bats.
And then the third phase is just 3 hits regardless. But with now with this second spin, with this second fight, she's on a completely different RNG seed.
Yeah. So Ganon could decide to have to teleport all over the place, but so far 3 out of 4, not too bad.
You had to say it.
Well, the last
there we
one.
go.
Gonna get a nice. Oh, maybe not.
And there goes Torch Glitch as well. It's smart on her setting herself so that she doesn't get accidentally taken by surprise with Ganon's location. Gets a double there. That's good.
Yep, and another single one following that up.
Ooh, that was close. And there's her 4th hit. Alright, that'll take care of it.
Yep, and as long as Aestolia can cross this 3-tile-wide bridge with no problems, they'll have completed the race as well in just a few more seconds. And we have an official speed racing TV time of 2 hours and 40 seconds even on that particular run. So
yeah,
GG
everyone
to
get your
Aestolia.
GGs in chat. That was very well done. We'll see if Aestolia is in any mood to talk. I wouldn't be surprised at all if she's not, but we'll take a listen. And unfortunately, Aestolia is not going to be able to do an interview, but she's hopefully going to be back next week, trying to get to a 4-3 record for the tournament. Quote, stupid hookshot.
Absolutely. And so with that, we finish up just another one of our fine races here in the Spring 2018 tournament. For this particular day, we have plenty of other action happening, though, and so if you're interested in looking at the rest of the schedule for today, we have some races coming up that you might be interested in. Has just started a few minutes ago. We have Ginger Damus versus Patty on Speed Gaming 1, as well as in about 40 minutes, Edudaimonistic versus Lewd Dolphin on Speed Gaming 3. At 6 p.m. there's another one. At 7 p.m. there is an additional race, and then we have one more at 8. Actually, we've got one on the hour every hour from now till 9 o'clock, and then we have a small skip where we'll see some action at 11 p.m. as well tonight. So lots of races for you to enjoy. Congratulations once again to Asazas for a stunning victory here in what is probably one of the record times in this particular tournament. So massive props there.
Thank you.
As we get Aestolia with a very fast, just speed running the credits, but yeah, very, very well done, Asazas. We very much hope to see you in the next round, hopefully get a win and make your way in the brackets. But absolutely give both these runners a follow. I'd also like to give a shout out to our tracker Kirito86 and our restreamer team, Feasel, Willard, everyone on the crew helping us put this together. I'd also like to thank you, Crowzone, for being here in the booth with me. That was an experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Algernon, for helping commentate and guide our viewers through this particularly interesting seed. We do see Aestolia with a collection rate of 157 out of 216. Doesn't seem like much, but just turns out that hovering, who would have known that hovering can really win you games? So with that, thanks to everybody who's been watching. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a reason to be doing this, and so we're super excited and super happy to continue to do so going through the forward. Please make sure to follow all of the runners who've participating in this tournament and throw some love at volunteers who you think deserve it. Of course, it's all of us, but that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next race.
Have a good day, everybody.